Hello everyone, my name is Sanjay and welcome to the Engineer Wannabe YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing a review of the Oris Aquis New York Harbor Limited Edition. I want to quickly say that I'm sorry that I'm not behind the camera. Usually I do this intro behind the camera. But also, I want to quickly let you know that you are infinitely valuable, you are infinitely precious. Great price has been paid for you. I hope you know that. I hope you are well wherever you may be. And yes, so let's get into it. Actually, before that as well, quick wristwatch check. Wearing my favorite watch of all time, the Grand Seiko SPGY 003 on a Nomos shell cordovan. Okay, let's talk about the watch at hand. This is the Oris Aquis Limited Edition New York Harbor. As I had already mentioned, it is a collaboration with the Billion Oyster Project, which is a charitable organization. There is a booklet in the unboxing or in the box for you to peruse while you enjoy this watch. Let's go into the dimensions here. This is a 41.5 millimeter diameter watch. It is 13 millimeters thick. Its lug to lug is 47 millimeters, so it's kind of it is an integrated bracelet watch. Because of that, the lug to lug doesn't quite matter as much, so keep that in mind. Especially what doesn't matter is the lug width, which is irrelevant entirely, but at this point it would be 21 millimeters. So just so you get an idea of how wide the lugs would be on your wrist, it's around 21 to 22 millimeters at this point, tapering down very aggressively. The movement in here is a Oris modified Salida SW200. They don't do too much on this movement. I know that they changed the rotor to a red rotor, which is irrelevant to us again because the caseback is solid. Very nice caseback, by the way, engraved with a oyster. And it has the the usual limited edition text back there. Oris makes an effort with the little things, so I do appreciate things like the date. The typeface on the date is very nice, very pleasing to the eye. But a major thing that I've appreciated with Oris watches is that when you get to the single digit dates, they fill up the date window. They actually change the font size to fill out that date window. So it's a little thing that matters to at least a few of us watch enthusiasts. But that is one thing I wanted to mention. So these little modifications, nothing major on the SW200. Let's quickly talk about the accuracy. This one is super accurate. It's within 2 seconds a day, but that is not what Oris promises. So I believe you can expect up to plus or minus 15 seconds a day when you get one of these watches. So it is not out of spec if it is running a bit slow or a bit fast. And the dial in this watch is a mother of pearl dial, which is very interesting. I've never seen mother of pearl colored. Maybe it's just my naivety, but I really enjoy this seafoam green, olive green that Oris has done here. You can kind of see the shimmer. So the dial plays with the light very beautifully, very unexpectedly even. You can kind of see that shimmer, and it's a delight to the eyes when you're wearing it day by day, because you'd be walking somewhere and you'd see this dial just glint out at you when you least expect it. It looks perfectly like a matte seafoam green dial right now, but then you'd catch the light and it really does blow you away. So it's a beautiful dial. I believe every dial is unique. You will see different patterns with different watches, so that is a handy or a pretty cool idea as well. As you can see, it's limited to 2,000 pieces, if I'm not mistaken. 2,000 pieces. And it comes with a strap as well as a toolkit. So this is a screwdriver set. I have a problem with this screwdriver set. Let's get into that really quickly right now. So this unscrews at the back here. It's a very well built very well machined screwdriver, and it comes with the hardware, well, the tools, ideally, that you need to swap out your bracelet onto the rubber strap. You can ideally swap out links. And then there's, I guess, a bit of an extra here. You get a spring bar tool, which this does not need because it uses screw bars, but you can use it on other watches, I suppose. This flathead screwdriver is too large for you to size the bracelet screws here. So the bracelet is sized with screws, but if we were to compare here, I find a link with some screws, because there you go. Far too large here. This is not going in there. And the same story here with the screw bars on the watch head. So let me get the corresponding tool. Here you go. Now the opposite problem is what comes here. This tool is far too small to go in there. So if you are one to swap out your bracelet and this very nice rubber strap, if you do that often enough, you're going to be mangling that screw. I mean, you'd be doing that even if you had the correct sized a tri-wing screw, and it's not an easily found screw. This is unique, and it's flatter. Nintendo uses tri-wing screws kind of like this, but you can't use those effectively because they are pointier, generally speaking. You're going to be mangling this screw if you do this too often. So because of that, I've refrained from swapping this out as much as I would have liked to. So a bit of a strange decision from Oris to provide a screw that's too large for the bracelet, too small for the watch head, and a spring bar tool that is not needed for this watch. Interesting decision from Oris. But let's move on from that. Here is the rubber strap. It comes on the rubber strap by default, so when you do put on the bracelet, the weight does increase significantly. So the weight on the strap is 110 grams, so including this deployment buckle. The weight on the bracelet, of size to my really tiny 6 1/4 inch wrist, it is 146 grams. I really enjoy wearing this on the bracelet, although you do lose a little bit of the charm, the character of it. When it's on this green seafoam green strap that matches this dial, it is an eccentric watch. It is strange, I think, and very, very charming. And when you go into the bracelet, it becomes this very mechanical, loses a bit of its personality. So I think this watch, as much as I love the bracelet, this watch deserves to be on this beautiful rubber strap. But that's just an opinion. It's completely subjective. Let me throw it on the wrist while we continue talking about this watch. Now, as I mentioned, my wrist is 6 1/4 inches, 16 centimeters. It's a bit rounder than most. I know a few people have been asking, saying it looks, my wrist looks smaller than 16 centimeters. Let me assure you, it is 16 centimeters, but I do have a bit of a rounder wrist rather than oval. A little loose right now. It's winter time, and it's large. There's a bit of a distortion with the camera, but it is large on my wrist. I do like the way it wears because even though it's large, it feels very tooly, and so I think it's supposed to be large. It's supposed to look like this on my wrist. You may disagree. I enjoy it. Now let's talk about the deployment clasp on the rubber strap. I recently found out that I used to own a 43mm Oris Aquis on a rubber strap. That one had a micro adjust system, on-the-fly adjustment system here in the back. I recently found out that this is not the case when it comes to the smaller models, so the 39mm and 41.5mm. So you kind of will have to do with spring bar here, which is appreciated that there's still micro adjustment on top of the crazy amount of adjustment you have here. Multiple different facets here of adjustment. You've got the holes. You've got these score marks where you can cut the rubber strap to fit your wrist, and of course you got the micro adjust here on the deployment itself. So many points of adjustment so you can get a really good fit, which I have on this rubber strap. So it's very nice. It's also very nice that the tail of the strap goes into or under the other side of the strap, so you don't see the tail, and it just gives it this finished look. It looks very integrated, much like the bracelet itself. So the strap is wonderful, and that's coming from someone who does not like rubber straps. The bracelet does have polished outer intermediate links that will pick up scuffs. It will pick up fingerprints. It is very flashy. It'll pick up light and shine it in every which direction. So it's a little loud as well. To tone it down, the strap is a great option as well. I did get a bunch of comments on this watch, which is strange. Not a lot of people notice watches, but they noticed this one. On the bracelet, I should say. So it does fling light in many directions. You got these very aggressive crown guards that are replaceable. The beautiful bead blasted crown with the Oris relief polished. Oris text relief polished. The bezel does protrude out again. So let me show you the sound, the feeling of the bezel, the rotating bezel. I almost forgot that because I don't really review divers. I know some people like this. I don't. I think the 39mm model has better. Oris's bezels are really strange. Some they vary greatly in terms of feel. I feel like the 39 I've enjoyed the most in terms of bezel feeling. I've even said that it's very close to a Rolex bezel, and I can see why people took exception to that comment a few years ago, because when I feel this one, it just feels rattly and unsophisticated, unrefined, which is disappointing, but it is very functional. You don't have to use it that much. Maybe if you use it as a fidget toy, that might be a deal breaker for you. It is a bead blasted bezel with a relief polish demarcation points. Okay guys, well that is really all that I wanted to say about this fantastic watch. I have really enjoyed owning it. It is such a pleasure. A bit disappointing about this tool. I mean, Oris didn't have to give it to us, so it's a really nice bonus. But would have been nice if the bits that went into the screwdriver fit. But yeah, guys. Other than that, I hope you're well. Let me know if you have any other questions about this watch. If you do, I'd be happy to help you out. And I hope you know that you are infinitely valuable and precious. Take care, everyone. Looking forward to talking to you in the next video. Bye.